Well, Kaizer Chiefs have landed safely in Amsterdam, Netherlands for their pre-season for the upcoming 2025-2026, the Betway Premiership in South Africa. Well, in this episode, we will be discussing some of the signings they've announced and some sure ones that have traveled with the squad that have not been yet announced. Yes, I do go by the name of Oscar Football, where I engage and discuss on anything to do with football, from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Well, exciting times, transfer window, whereas football fans, analysts, pundits, we just engage and discuss on some of the players that teams have announced. And in this episode, the focus and the magnifying glass is over some of the signings that Kaizer Chiefs have brought to Naturena. Well, Kaizer Chiefs didn't finish at a favorable position for a big club, finishing 9th last season, meaning that they will miss, partaking in that MTN 8 competition for the club, and but also this also will give the club, maybe some time really to prepare for the tough season. It was not an easy one for the Tunisian Nasreddine Nabi. His first season, majority thought that he was probably going to be sacked even after having won the Nedbank Cup against Orlando Pirates. But Kaizer Senior, the family have decided to show faith in the Tunisian for him to continue this season and see where the club is going to finish. Well, the one positive thing about winning that Nedbank Cup is that Kaizer Chiefs, Amakhosi, will be participating in the CAF Confederation Cup, which is actually good for South Africans, having the three big clubs participating in CAF competition, with Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns in the premium competition of the continent, the Champions League being part of it. Now, here's something that is also important, as you are my viewer, someone who follows this channel, that it's important that I also give you perspective on some of the news I have or the players I know. The foreign quota currently at Kaizer Chiefs, with the news coming from Naturena that Castillo, the South American, have parted ways with Kaizer Chiefs. This means that there's that one spot for them to sign a foreign player. They've got Ntwari, Rwandan, the goalkeeper. They've got Flávio, whom they just signed recently, and they've got Miguel Inacio from Angola. Forgetting the other player now, Miguel, Flavio, Ntwari, Lilepo, the Congolese. So they've got 4 players, so they've got one more player they can slot in there. Sereno, I cannot count because he's registered as a South African citizen, and but I believe, and I'm hearing from the corridors of rumor, that they are more interested in bringing that number 6. Now that Castillo has left, it really is saying that with Nabi and Terra, the chief scout at Kaizer Chiefs, having gone to Tanzania to really zoom into their most sought out player in Feitoto, the Tanzanian darling. This could actually be an opportunity for Kaizer Chiefs really to go for the player. A midfielder is out. A foreign player is out, and that would mean that this is a great opportunity for Kaizer Chiefs to bring Feitoto to that midfield. Now, let's zoom into some of the players they have announced. Obviously, the first 3 players that were announced was Flavio Silva. I'm not sure if he's Portuguese or he's from Guinea Bissau. Either way, he was playing in the Indonesian league, one of the giants there. I think we must not lie to each other. I don't think that the Indonesian league is bigger than the South African league. and then you had Ethan Chislett. I'm not sure if he was playing in League One in England or League Two, because in England it's the English Premier League, it's the Championship, and it's League One and it's League Two. And then you had Unkanyiso was playing the first division of Portugal. His team, I think, won the championship to be promoted to the Premier League in Portugal. But yet again, the side did not see a need to bring him with. What we are hearing is that Kaizer Chiefs had been negotiating with the player for the past 4 months, signing the player for just over 200,000 euros, which is just over 4 million rands. And I believe Flávio also, he signed around the same figure. I'm not sure what was the story with the Ethan. Kanyiso is a left back with his greatest asset being on the more offensive side. We really don't know much of how good he is defensively. Flavio, he's a number 9, a typical, probably a striker. I mean, if you look at the pictures, you will see that Flavio is even taller than Miguel Inacio, the defender. So he's skinny, or not skinny, but lanky. One hopes that it's not another Gonzalez scenario where Kaizer Chiefs just sold Ingulube Esagini. and yeah, but one that is exciting according to the videos that we've watched is this Ethan Chislett, similar to Kanyiso Shinga. They're going to add something when they've got set pieces. They're very good on free kicks, especially this Ethan guy. He's more of a creative player, that number 10 role. And last season, Kaizer Chiefs relied on the youngster in Mdu Shabalala. You know, with a Sereno is not really a number 10. He plays more like a half winger, coming from the left, so this guy is really their number 10 or their most creative midfielder, and so they obviously Kaizer Chiefs have done their homework. It would be foolish for one to think that they were not looking at these guys for the past year or months to see how they can fit into their system. Now Kaizer Chiefs have let go of a Shivaviro. They currently have a Tash Morris as another number 9, big, physical. This guy is also tall, physical, this Flavio Silva. So they'll be competing for that number 9. And you've got someone like a Dupree who can play as a false 9, who can play, come from the wings. And then the other position that they've also added on is a Sipesihle Ndlovu. Obviously, Supersport have been sold. There's a separate episode for that. He can play as a number 6. He can play as a box-to-box number 8. A very good engine. And I think he's I'm not sure if he's free. I'm not sure if he was still under contract with Supersport, but what we know for sure is that he's definitely being signed by Kaizer Chiefs. And the fullbacks coming from Orlando Pirates. I think the only negative I can say about these two guys is their injury history. Thabiso Monyane, right back, and then you've got Paseko, Mako, left back. Ever since that injury he sustained against Richard Ofori, he's really never been the same, but he is a player that is reliable when he is fit. He's a left back, and you look at the left back at Kaizer Chiefs, you've got a Bradley Cross, Dove has left. Maybe that's why they're bringing in someone who's got a proven record in the PSL. In these two guys, they are winners. They won some titles with Orlando Pirates. So that's something they're bringing to this Kaizer Chiefs side. So Thabiso Monyane will be competing with the Solomons, who's also injury prone. Another Froster who's also injury prone. Thabiso Monyane has got a bit of history but he's younger with injuries. So one hopes that as they're joining Kaizer Chiefs, they'll be able to, remain fit for the duration of the season. Other two players that are linked to Kaizer Chiefs are the youngsters. The one that has been linked to Kaizer Chiefs from last season. I remember there was a price tag of 12 million rands when Cape Town Spurs were relegated to First Division, and Kaizer Chiefs were like, they ain't paying that money for a youngster. And now that Cape Town Spurs have been relegated, to, you can say semi-pro leagues, apparently by law of PSL, they are now free agents. I think I saw a picture somewhere at the airport where I saw someone who is like a Velipai. So Velipai and Bartman, these are pure wingers. Bartman can also play as a 10. Velipai can play as a wing on the left, or even coming from the right. So if these are signings, they will definitely add some value to this Kaizer Chiefs side. Now, again, I have to emphasize this. I think it is a Nabi who's given these signings a go ahead, because he's been working with the Terra guy, and so I don't know the reaction of Kaizer Chiefs fans if this is what they would have wished for. But again, I don't think Kaizer Chiefs are done with signings, and I don't think Kaizer Chiefs are done. They're probably going to release some players on loan or just terminate some contracts. Definitely, Tau is still available and still linked with Kaizer Chiefs. Peter Shalulile, Mamelodi Sundowns, I'm not really sure with the contract there, if it is over or he extended. I mean, the contract ends in 2027. So a whole lot of news still going to come up for the Soweto Giants, and I think Kaizer Chiefs really want to improve from just winning the Nedbank Cup after 10 years. They probably want to compete for the league and maybe finish third, second, or even win the Premiership. But the question is, the players they've brought in here, we cannot fool ourselves here. These are a bunch of unknowns. Flavio, we don't know him. Shinga, Asmazi. Ethan, Chislett. Shinga and Chislett, they're probably coming back to South Africa so that a Hugo Bruce can see them, and maybe they can fight for a spot for Bafana, who will be playing in AFCON come December in Morocco. So these are players who are coming to South Africa to make a name for themselves, to prove to South Africans that they're not playing overseas by chance, but they are quality. But I've heard only good things about this Kanyiso guy, and we hope that they will do well, especially if they are South Africans, so that they can actually push the players who are competing for the Bafana spot. Yes, I do go by the name of Oscar. Since football, I really do appreciate all types of engagement, negative or positive. Let's have fun on the comments now. Let me leave it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.